Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mr. Mayor, thanks for the passport into town. I tell you, every time I come to the greater Chicago area, there's somebody I want to steal and bring back to Washington, Gov. I've done it a couple times, you know. At any rate, look, Jerry, every company needs people like you, every single one. Someone who knows what my dad taught me, and a lot of people who know me well, including the governor's sister, who I worked closely with for 8 years. My dad used to have an expression. He used to say, everyone's entitled to be treated with dignity. And Joey, a job's a hell of a lot more than about a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about your place in the community. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, everything's going to be okay. That's the God's truth. He said ever since he lost, things went south in Scranton, Pennsylvania when I was a kid, and coal shut down. My dad was not a coal miner. I had a great-grandfather who was a coal miner engineer, but you know, he was a salesperson. Everything, we moved down to Wilmington, Delaware, a little town called Claymont, a little steel town, where there's no steel anymore, but right on the border of Pennsylvania. And it was always about the dignity of work. And what you've been doing here about this pandemic is about protecting the dignity of your fellow Americans. You know, you stayed in an operations mode, lining up protective equipment for the rest of the country, all around the country. And when the vaccine came out, you all stepped up and you got the shots. And as a company, you're getting more shots than arms. And I want to thank Auto for hosting us here at Clayco, one of the Midwest's biggest construction companies. $3 billion a year in revenue. Thousands of employees nationwide, and here in Elk Grove, 100% union, not labor, union. Union. One of the reasons I said I ran was to rebuild this country, rebuild the backbone of the country, and I meant this sincerely. And the backbone is to build from the bottom up and the middle out. I'm a capitalist. I think people should be able to go out and make a lot of money. That's not the problem, but everybody should have an even shot. And who built the middle class? Unions built the middle class. Not a joke, without the unions, we would not have a middle class in America. So everybody owes you all. You know, you're constructing buildings for some of America's biggest companies, but you're also doing something bigger than that. You're helping us beat back COVID-19. So are the great leaders who are here today. JP, you, Governor, you've done more than about anybody I can think of in any state. I mean that sincerely. You've stepped up. You've always done what you said you're going to do, and you've been relentless in getting people vaccinated. In the Midwest, you're leading. You're leading, and it's real. It's not hyperbole. And Mayor Lightfoot, who I said, please go back to work, I'm going to get in trouble. She had to leave, but Mayor Lightfoot, the same thing. In Elk Grove, Mayor Johnson, you've done a hell of a job as well. You know, we have 11 members of Congress here. Raja, thank you for hosting this in your district, for permission to come into the district. And I also want to thank colleagues in the House of Representatives, Mike Quigley, Robin Kelly, Bobby Rush, Danny Davis, Jan Sikowski, an old friend, Bill Foster, Brad Schneider, Sean Caston, Lauren Underwood, and Marie Newman. And I know, for them, you'd all understand it in a different context. But this is a busman's holiday for them, to have to come here and other politicians speak. You know what I mean? Not a joke, folks. I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I know they wanted to be here, but there's others who are in Washington who can't be here. Dick Durbin and Tammy, I've both spoken to. They're in Washington and hopefully be voting soon. And also, we've got state leadership here. Lieutenant Governor Julius here, Stratton, and I'm from Pennsylvania. The Illinois President Don Harmon, State Senator Laura Murphy, State Rep Martin Moylan, and we got great labor leaders here too. Tim, where's Tim? There you go, Tim, thank you. Thank you, pal. AFL-CIO State President. And Jeff Isaacson, United Brotherhood of Carpenters, and Don Finn, IBEW, and Robert Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R, Chicago Federation of Labor. And folks, that's how we beat COVID-19, by working together. We have an expression in that little town of Claymont I'm from. You all brung me to the dance, labor. You're the reason I'm standing here. Not a joke. Not a joke. I got elected when I was 29 years old to the United States Senate, 17 days before I was eligible to be sworn in. I had to wait around to be sworn in, not a joke as well. And I won by 3,300 votes, and labor, including the police unions as well as the firefighters, stood up and endorsed me. And because I kid with the governor, I said I grew up in a town called Claymont, Delaware from 3rd grade on. I went to a little Catholic school called Holy Rosary, and across the street from Holy Rosary was the fire station. And the guys I grew up with, you became either a firefighter, a cop, or a priest. I wasn't qualified for any of them, so I had to be president. And so